Krishna Govinda Hari. Sri Krishna Govinda. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sapitam Tina Bhutale Shayam Rupa Gadamayam Daritisha Padantikam Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kapashulubhyarevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangulangayati girim yukrapa tamaham bande, Siguru dinatharinam. Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Nice to be back with all of you. When was I here last? Was it last summer? Summer before? How did you? Yes? Right. When you travel a lot, it destroys your brain. You can't remember where you've been, where you're coming from, where you're going. You go to the airport and they say, you're going to such and such a place? And you think, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm always going somewhere, yeah. So it's nice to be here again with all of you on such a wonderful day. If you ever do Govardhan Parikrama in Govardhan itself, that generally you'll be told that as you go around Govardhan, Govardhan is asking you a question, which is a good question, but it also could be a dangerous question. And Govardhan asks you, what do you want? So if God asks you what you want, that's good, but it's also dangerous. It could also be dangerous. Yes, if you ask for the wrong thing. And the nature of Giriraj is that he will, it's a bit too loud, or too much something. Oh. Oh, you can't hear in the back. Really? Okay. So, Giriraj, generally Krishna will not fulfill material desires, because he knows it's not good for us, but Giriraj will. So, watch out. But I thought it would be nice to start, we didn't, so we already started, but it'd be nice to invoke a certain mood tonight. And we can all meditate on this mood. And the mood first begins with a question. If Giriraj will fulfill my desires, whatever I ask, what should I ask? Or you can also think, what shouldn't I ask as well? So tonight, why don't we all meditate on this question? And when some of us know what to ask immediately, we know what we need. It may be a little specific to the individual. What do you need? What is blocking you in your spiritual life? What is the next step you need to take? What's in the way? What do you feel is important for you now in your spiritual life? What would you like more of? And when you get that, then tonight, while I'm talking, while there's kirtan, while there's Damodar Ashtaka, whatever we're doing, while you're taking prasadam, think of this desire. Oh Giriraj, please blank, whatever your please is. Giriraj is merciful. So merciful means that when we need help and we don't have the strength to achieve what it is we want to achieve, we require help. That help comes in the form of kripa, or mercy. And now we are celebrating the appearance of one of the most merciful forms of Krishna, Giriraj. And I think that whenever mercy is available, we should take it. What do you think? I'll tell you a story. This is 1969, when many of you were in other bodies, somewhere else. Yeah, if you're over what, 53, you were in another body, or 54. So this is maybe like I had been coming to the temple for a few months, but I had gone to Los Angeles. And I went to the temple there for the first time, so like a first or second time. I was there, we were taking prasadam. And then during prasadam, they bring out the maha. So the maha was on a plate like this size. And they didn't, this was 1969, everybody was like 20 years old. And all ex-hippies, 101% of the movement were hippies. If you weren't a hippie and you came to the temple, we'd say, you must have the wrong address. Only hippies would join, yeah, seriously. So they bring this big plate out, they put it on the ground, and then the devotees would, you know how American football is? I guess it's this way in rugby or whatever, you're diving. So they would dive on the prasadam, and there was like a big, it looked like a football game, like it was a big tackle. And they said, it's mercy, go get it. So like fight for it, get in there, grab it, get it. I mean, not the most cultured way to serve prasadam, but I think it kind of aligned with the times and the age we were and the age of ISKCON, which was about 3 years old. So that's not the proper way to serve prasadam, but the principle was correct. That if there's mercy, get it, fight for it, die for it, somehow or other grab it. Why? Because we are trying to achieve something which is actually impossible. That's loving Krishna in one lifetime. It's even impossible in 100 or 1,000. But if we have mercy, it's possible. Right? The impossible, in our books, it is said the impossible becomes possible. Just like I was saying, Bhukkam karoti vachalam pangu langayati girim yakripa tamaham bande svikarudi natarinam. If you have the mercy of Guru, then even you can't speak, you'll recite poetry. And you're blind, but you can see stars in the sky. And another verse says, oh yeah, Pangu, you're lame, you can't walk and you can climb mountains. Thank you. How can a person who can't walk climb a mountain, a person who can't speak recite poetry, and a person who's blind see stars in the sky? What is impossible becomes possible when you have mercy. That's it. So we all need mercy, right? Because we're trying to do something impossible. You ever feel like Krishna consciousness is impossible? You wonder, like, should I really chant my rounds today? Is it really going to make a difference? You ever feel like that? Like, it's like, am I wasting my time? Is this like anything, has anything happened? Am I getting worse with every year? We all sometimes go through that. What we call the dark night of the soul. What is this, like, can I actually do this? I've been doing this. I first came to the temple 54 years ago. So you do something for 54 years, you get perspective, right? And so pretty much when you join the temple, you figure within a few weeks you'll be a pure devotee. course, you hit the few weeks mark and it didn't happen, so you think, okay, we'll just move it up a little bit, 3 months. Then you hit the 3-month mark, and then people start saying, no, 2 years. You hit the 2-year mark, and it's like, this is more difficult than I thought. It's moving slower than I thought. You ever feel like that? Like, can we just crank it up and get it moving? You know, like, well, it's Kali Yuga. We weren't raised as devotees, most of us. We're not living in a holy dham. We're not coming from a lineage of generations and generations of devotees who chant 64 rounds a day. We didn't study Srimad Bhagavatam in school, etc. And look at the culture we live in. We definitely need mercy, don't you think? Yeah. So, on these special days when mercy is available, you can keep this vision of all these young brahmacharis diving on the plate of prasadam, fighting for mercy, because that's what we should be doing. Definitely, 100%, we should be doing that. And so, Giriraj Maharaj is, I don't know, I feel like he's giving mercy. You feel like that? Today, he's giving mercy. So, how do you ask for mercy? The emotion of asking for mercy is begging. And begging, I would say, begging like a child in a grocery store who is demanding some candy and is about to have a temper tantrum if she or he doesn't get it, something like that. Because the idea is, we understand that this is impossible without mercy. So we are helpless, hopeless without mercy, and mercy is our only hope, and so we crave it so much. We beg for it, pray for it, cry for it. Please, Giriraj, give me this mercy so I can overcome the obstacles. So, as I said, I'm on my 54th year. You'd think 54 years, it's all downhill. Well, Maya hasn't given up on me. She's still trying. The battle continues. But with mercy, things are moving along. Right? A little slower than I expected, but we're still moving along. So there's not a point where it's just like you lay back and like, okay, Maya went to sleep. Everything is good. I mean, maybe when you have prema, you can think that way. But even once a devotee was complaining to Prabhupada, he said, Srila Prabhupada, it is so difficult to control the tongue. You ever have that experience? Yes or yes? Ya? How do you say or? Ya oder ya? Ya oder ya? Yeah. If you have a tongue, you have this experience. So then when he said, Srila Prabhupada, it's so difficult to control my tongue. And Prabhupada said, yes, I know, I also have a tongue. So, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Kroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Anadana Pashta Vegam. Nectar of Devotion says, you can be a guru if you can tolerate. What do you have to tolerate? The tongue, the belly, the genital. It's like it just doesn't go away. Okay, I've been a devotee 54 years. My tongue disappeared, my belly disappeared. It all disappeared, you know. Do you ever get hungry, Prabhu? Never. You ever overeat? You ever eat like too much? Never. No problem. You ever sleep too much? Never. You ever get upset? Never. No, as long as we have a body, we have to tolerate these things. So it's not so easy. And so these kinds of reflections make us realize how much we need mercy. Like, we are completely dependent on mercy. So today is really a good day to get mercy. Like, whatever you feel is could go better, or going wrong could go better, whatever you feel you need. If you could go up to a magic wand and say, give me this, bang you in the head, you get it. Ask Giriraj for that. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. I'm going to tell you a story. We did something last year in Govardhan. We did a retreat there. Every year, the last week of February, we do a retreat in Govardhan. You're all invited. Go to my website. All the details are there. It's 5 days living on the foot of Govardhan. It's really special. So at the end of the retreat, Borijan Prabhu brought us to Govardhan, and we did a little meditation. And you can do this if you like tonight, when we see Govardhan, or during Kirtan, or whenever you feel like it. He said, tell Govardhan how you became a devotee. Tell Govardhan how you became a devotee. I think that's what he said. Or you might have said, tell Govardhan your whole life story. I can't remember. But we did it in like 10 minutes, so probably not our whole life story. I think it was, tell Govardhan, you're like, what led you to become a devotee? What was going on in your life? Like that. So we all sat at the foot of Giriraj, and we all told him our life story, how we became devotee. We talked to him. This is what happened. This is where I was born. These are my experiences, my frustrations, my insights. This is how I became a devotee, why I became a devotee. These are my challenges. Just spoke to him, whatever we could say about our life. And then after we did that, then Borijan Prabhu said, no, you ask Giriraj for something, what you need. So if you feel like speaking to Giriraj and doing what we did, it's really interesting to tell Krishna about your life. And Bhaktivinoda does that in his songs. He tells his whole life to Krishna, like all the mistakes he made, all the things that went wrong, because it's the mood. The mood is you tell your life, and then you can ask for what you want. And they work together. Hare Krishna. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Do you know that in acting this pastime of lifting Govardhan Hill, Krishna did everything he could to make Indra angry? Did you know that? It was like he figured out, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, and it's going to really upset Indra. He wanted to upset Indra. Or I don't want to say he wanted to, but he knew it would. And then he could teach him a lesson. Like sometimes a guru may kind of lead a disciple in, ask him a question, knowing he's going to give the wrong answer, and then give him the right answer, or worse, knock him in the head with the right answer. Right? It's like sometimes you can trick somebody to get them to say or do the wrong thing so you can correct them. And that's what Krishna did with Indra. Knowing that Indra would take the bait because he had become proud, and he would retaliate. So most of us know the story, but Krishna was like 5 years old at this time, right? 5 or 6 or 4, who knows? 7 going once, 6 going once. I thought it was more like 5. The younger he is, the more dramatic the story. 7's too old for the drama. By the time you're 7, you're pretty smart. So he wanted to convince his father not to worship Indra, because they worship Indra every year because they are farmers. They depend on rain, get the grass for the cows, and grow the grains of food. So they worship Indra to ensure they will get rain. And Krishna thought, my pure devotees, my eternal devotees, Brajvasis, are worshiping a demigod. This is not good. This like something is wrong with this picture, isn't it? You know, it's like, you know, you have kids, you raise them as devotees, and one day you come home and they're doing puja to Durga, and it's like, what happened? It's like, you're a devotee, you know, what's going on? Oh, I went to a yoga studio and did Durga Ma Kirtana. I'm like, no, you're a devotee. Krishna says in the Gita, worship me, not the demigods. And now his own eternal residents are worshiping Indra. It's not good. So Krishna's thinking, okay, we have to do something about this. And we have to do something about Indra, because Indra becomes proud quite easily, and I need to straighten him out. So we're going to do both of these things together. Now, if you study Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, one thing comes up quite often. It's like, you know, they're like themes in Scripture. Certain things keep happening again. One of the things that happens is one of Krishna's dear devotees becomes proud. And then what does Krishna do? Cuts their pride. Has Krishna ever cut your pride? Has that ever happened to you? You're thinking you're God's gift to the world, and then he like makes your dhoti fall off in the middle of the kirtan or something. Or something similar, you know, makes your like your false ego gets exposed to the world, you're trying to hide it, and you know, you make some really, really foolish mistake in front of like 25 million people, and Krishna's like, ha ha ha. You think you're the top dog? Yeah, I'm gonna show you. So in the scripture, we see it happening. Brahma here, it's happening to Indra, other devotees. Krishna doesn't like it when his devotees become proud. It's not good for the devotee. It's not good for the relationship with Krishna. So Krishna does something to curb the pride, just like he does with us. When we become proud, at a certain point, Krishna chops us down, because you know why we came to the material world. Anybody tell you how you got here? You know, there's a little door, you know, it says pride. We walked through that door. We thought it was going to be fun, and then the big chute, and then here we are, you know, going down the slide, you know. And the door we opened was pride, and pride means what? I'm number one, you know. Honor me. Hey everyone, I'm over here, you know. Tell me how great I am. That's how we got here. Did you know that? You didn't. Yeah, of course we know that. Question number 2. Do you know how you stay here? It's the same answer to question number 1. Pride got us here, and pride keeps us here. And does Krishna want us to go back to Godhead? Ya? Oda? Ya, Oda, Ya. He definitely wants us to go back to Godhead, right? And if pride is what got us here, if pride is what keeps us here, Krishna has to make us humble somehow or other, because if we don't become humble, we stay here. How you got here is how you stay here. You have to flip it around. What is pride flipped around? It's humility. Humility is how we get out of here. So, my dear devotee Indra has become proud. It is not good. My eternal devotees who've descended from the spiritual world, or who have come into the eternal Leela, my pure devotees are worshiping Indra. This is not good. We have to do something. So, Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd boys, Krishna sees that they're worshiping Indra, and he says, Pitaji, what's going on? What's up? How do you say that in German? Wie geht's or something? Like that? Wie geht's?
Was ist los? Was ist los?
Was
ist los?
Was ist los? Hey Nanda, hey Pitaji, was ist los? I thought we're just worshiping Indra because he's the god of rain and we're farmers and we need rain. And how do you say this isn't good? Das ist na gut?
Ist nicht gut. Nicht gut.
Nicht gut. Krishna says, nicht gut. One time I was flying to Germany, and my grandparents are from Austria, so my last name is German, so at the airport they start speaking German to me when they see my name. Sorry, I don't speak German. This is not good. So, Krishna said, you don't need to worship Indra because, and then Krishna did something interesting. He spoke atheism to convince his father. Like, why would he do that? Why would he speak atheism, right? Well, it's kind of like if someone came to you, you weren't wearing a dhoti or sari, but they decided, we're going to kill all the Hare Krishnas, and someone said, are you a Hare Krishna? You might say, no, I'm an atheist. You just say something, practical so that I don't kill you, right? Well, of course, some devotees would say, I'm a devotee, and they want to die honorably. But it's sometimes, to get something done, you may say something you don't even believe, just to pacify somebody. So, Krishna thought, well, I got a good argument. My dear father, you don't have to worship Indra because the rain is going everywhere. It's on the ocean. It's just coming. It's like if you just do your dharma, if you just work according to your varna, you're a farmer, so you just farm the land, you do your duty, and according to the work you do, you'll get a result. You'll get your karma. Whether you worship Indra or not, it doesn't matter because you just get your karma. There's no need to worship any god. That's atheistic philosophy. It's just, you work, you get a result. Like if you study like success, how to be successful, right? What do they say? Here's my 7 secrets of success. How many books are there, like, 10 steps to like life lessons, and it's like, it's all formulas. You do this, 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 and you get the result. But everyone who does that does the exact same thing, and they get a different result, right? You go to the seminar, how to become a millionaire. Every like 1,000 people there, right? And you're sitting in there and thinking, yeah, all those who are going to become millionaires have millionaire karma. And the ones who don't have millionaire karma are going to do the exact same thing as the ones with millionaire karma, and they're going to remain poor. Have you seen that? Yeah, look at your bank balance. And you can say, yeah. So it's not, there is karma, but Krishna is saying, you just work and you get a result. There's no God and nothing, just, farm the land and take care of the cows and everything will be good. And so it's interesting, and Krishna was asking Nanda Maharaj, he said, why are you doing this? What's the point? Is this like a ceremony that's been done for so long, nobody even remembers why we're doing it? You know those kinds of ceremonies? You do them for so long that nobody even knows why you're doing them anymore. You go, how come we celebrate this? I don't know. You know. I don't know. You know. I don't know. It's always celebrated. It's always been done. And nobody knows why. Some history student can figure it out. They killed a pig on this day, 14 billion years ago. And then this happened and that happened, and now we're atoning for our sin, and like nobody knows that. So Krishna was asking, like why are you doing this? It's just something you do, and there's no reason. It's just a celebration, like, you know. And then Nanda said, yeah, we do it for. And first Nanda was thinking, said he's only like 5 or 6 or 7. We don't know. Can somebody look it up? How old he was? We need to find out, because if I leave not knowing how old he was, I won't be able to sleep tonight. Can someone look on their phone? Google, how old was Krishna when he left to Govardhan? I say 5 or 6. So, 7. Oh, no. It's too old. Anyway, Nanda Maharaj thought, Krishna book, read the Krishna book and see. It doesn't say 7. I don't think it says 7 in the Krishna book. Nanda Maharaj thought, Krishna's too young, he won't understand. And Krishna goes, no, tell me, is it? And so Krishna started questioning him like a lawyer, you know, is it this, is it that? You know, what's the result? Why are you doing it? What's the purpose? What's the tradition? And so Nanda finally said, yeah, this is Indra. And then Krishna spoke his whole philosophy. And so Krishna was saying something, you know, it didn't entirely make sense. But if you love somebody deeply, whatever they say, you'll just think, okay, right? Isn't it? Like, can you imagine Krishna speaking something to you? It doesn't make any sense at all, and you're just looking at him, and he's so beautiful and attractive, and you're just like, okay, let's do that. Let's not worship Indra. Yeah, they're worshiping Indra for who knows how long, and then 1 2-minute conversation, and it's like, okay, we're not going to worship Indra. Yeah. Now, another interesting thing in this story, this is very interesting if you meditate on this. Does Indra know who Krishna is? And the answer is, sometimes. Now that answer doesn't make sense. Like, you know, if we were in a Bhagavad Gita class and I say, who's Krishna? And you said, well, sometimes I think he's God, and sometimes I think I'm God. You know, we think, get this guy out of here. What's wrong with him? Right? Or we'd be thinking, can you come back when you're not high on LSD? Because that's like a really strange answer. So, where was I going? I completely forgot. What was the point I was making before? Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, Indra knows, yeah. My jet lag will officially be over on Wednesday. One takes like, they say like, or takes 1 day for every hour of time change. So 6-hour time change. So it should be over by Tuesday night, yeah. My brain will come back, yeah. So, isn't that weird? Like, you know Krishna's God, and then you forget, and you become angry at him? Isn't that weird? Don't you think? Right? Not like, Krishna didn't give me the new job, I'm angry at him. But you still know he's God. It's just, Krishna doesn't like me, you know, you're angry. Yeah. That sometimes happens, but we get angry at God, but we still know that he's God. Indra just like forgets. You know, one lecture Prabhupada said, Maya is very, 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 very strong. Have you noticed that? Maya is so strong that a devotee of Krishna can forget that Krishna is God and become angry at Krishna. That is incredible, isn't it? It's like inconceivable. How strong is illusion? So now Krishna is thinking, my devotee, Indra, my dear devotee, he's become proud. This is like, we can't, this cannot happen. We have to stop this. And I'm going to arrange everything to make him really angry. So Krishna said, my dear father, what we should do is we should worship Govardhan Hill, because Govardhan Hill it gives us grass and water and honey and flowers and jewels and caves to keep us cool in the summer, warm in the winter. It's like, there's a whole verse of like all these things, all the flowers and herbs and honeys and waters and grass, everything Govardhan gives. He said, so our relationship is with Govardhan, we should worship Govardhan. So this is what we're going to do. You can imagine if you were Indra, you'd be like, okay, you'd be pretty upset. So Krishna says, so everything you have to worship Indra, all the paraphernalia, whatever it is, just take that and worship Govardhan. Indra's like, ah, right? Could you imagine, like, something's for you and somebody convinces those are going to give it to you to give it to somebody else? Would you be upset? Ya, Odo? Ya, Odo, ya. Ya, ya. How do you say this? Like, how do I say it like a German? Ya. 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 I have to have the German look though, right?
Depends on the emotion you want to put in.
I have to have the German look. Ja. Is that good?
That's good.
Jawohl. So Indra becomes furious. It's just like, just meditate on this. Maya is so strong, you can forget that Krishna's God. Have you ever forgotten Krishna's God? No, you might say, no, I haven't. Have you ever been in Maya? Let me guess. I'm going to take a guess and say yes. Right. What happens when we're in Maya? Practically speaking, when we're in Maya, like big Maya, not little Maya, like Maha Maya, The kind of like you do something and after you do it, like, what was I thinking? You know that kind of Maya? You've been in that kind of Maya before? What happened? We forgot that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of God. That's actually what happened. Isn't it? More or less. Because if Krishna were there, how could you have done it? Right? It's almost like, or it's like, Krishna, I know you're God, but can you just go away for a while and come back later? Because right now, something like that. So, let us remember from this Govardhan Leela how powerful Maya is. We should be careful. Let us remember that pride is the enemy. Let us pray to Giriraj to help us because we need mercy because Maya is so strong. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So, Krishna said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cook rasgulla, kachori, sweet rice, gulab jamun, puri, sandesh, burfi, malpura. You know malpura? You make yogurt, you put fruit in it, and lots of sugar. And you make these little donut balls and let them soak overnight. Oh my God. You could easily eat 5 cups, even if you're not even hungry. It's so good. So Krishna said, make all these things, and we're going to offer all this to Govardhan, and bring all the Brahmins in, feed them. They'll chant mantras, bring all the cows in, feed them, bring all the animals in, feed them, bring everybody in, all classes of people, bring them in and feed them. So that's what they did. So now you know the problem. This is also another interesting thing. This is really interesting. All the residents of Vrindavan were bringing offerings, offering after offering after offering after offering after offering, until there was nothing left to offer. And what did Giriraj say? He said the same thing every materialistic person says every day. Give me more, give me more, give me more. You could write a song. There probably is a song about that. Oh, give me more. Give me more. Yeah. Aniyor, give me more, give me more. At that time, Krishna appeared as Giriraj, and he declared, I am Giriraj. I am Giriraj. This mountain is me. I am this mountain. Wow. Krishna incarnates as a mountain. What do you think of that? Interesting. Well, Krishna incarnates as the whole holy Dham. Want to speak of one mountain? The whole holy Dham is sacred, right? So you could worship some sand from the holy Dham. Krishna incarnates in sound, the holy name, every day. We chant the holy name. He's incarnated in sound. Jiva Goswami says it's a nama murti. It's a deity of sound. And what to speak of the deity he incarnates. So it's not a problem. He can incarnate as a mountain. So now there's no more boga, there's nothing more to offer, and Giriraj is saying, Aniyor. Give me, and everyone's like, what are we going to do? This mountain, this mountain is a hungry mountain, and there's nothing left in the village to offer. As they say in India, what to do? Kya hai? What to do? And Balaram, as most of you know, what Balaram said was, well, I think, Patra Pushpam Palam Toyam, you know that verse in the Gita? Patram means leaf, Patram, Pushpa is flower, Toyam water, Patra Pushpam Palam, or Palam is flower, Patra Pushpa is flower, Palam is fruit, Patra Pushpam Palam Toyam, fruit, flower, water, or leaf. So Balaram said, I think we should offer tulsi leaf. I think that's what Giriraj wants. Isn't that interesting? It's very interesting because we could make an analogy. Have you ever gotten something and it wasn't enough? So you got more and it wasn't enough? And then you got more. It still wasn't enough. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever eaten a preparation that doesn't taste good? And you eat a lot of it because you're hoping if you eat enough, it'll taste good? Has that ever happened to you? It's like, I'm hungry, and like I want to eat something, and this is all I have, so I keep eating it. And I'm completely unsatisfied after I finish. It's that around the whole day, you're like not satisfied. You got to go eat something.
This happens when there is Ekadashi.
Oh, Ekadashi.
Sometimes the food is not to liking, and even if I eat the whole day, I feel like still not satisfied.
He doesn't like Ekadashi. So, sometimes we're like, do this, and it's not satisfied. And then some mercy descends, and we sit down to chant japa, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And by Krishna's mercy, we chant some good rounds. And then, what do we feel like? We feel like, wow, I'm satisfied. This is so nice. You ever feel like that? I was like, I could just chant. I don't need anything. Anyway, it's something like that. Krishna gets a tulsi leaf and he's happy. And we are happy when we just have a little bhakti, a little devotion. And if we don't have devotion, then you can get the whole world. You're still not happy. You remember the story of Vamana? It's so beautiful. Vamana is a Brahmin. And he's very short. He's actually a midget. And there's a reason he's a midget. And you will find out in a minute if you don't already know. In Vedic culture, Brahmins do not work. How do they get money? They can't work to get money. The society supports them through charity, especially the kings. Like in this Govardhan Leela, Krishna said, give all the Brahmins piles, mountains of grains, and give them wealth and feed them. So the Brahmins especially, they have to be taken care of by society because that's their only source of income. And so whenever a Brahmin would, whenever there's a sacrifice, the kings would always like throw things at the Brahmins. Here's 100,000 cows. You know, thank you for coming, you know, like that. And they walk away with 100,000 cows or something. So Vamanadev came and Bali Maharaj said, what can I offer you? And Vamanadev's a Brahmin. So he said, I just need 3 steps of land. So I made a calculation. If you take 3 steps and measure it, it's just about as much as you need to lay down. And if you don't believe me, you can do it. Just take 3 of your like normal steps. You can imagine, right? 1, 2, 3. And then, so if you have enough space to lay down, I know this from being a brahmachari, if you have enough space to lay down, you can just sit there and study, because you can put your books there. Like you don't, that's all you really need is that space, if you're like a real brahmachari, right? Isn't it? And then there's one brahmachari next to you, like a little space in between. He's got his, so we can all just sit, like in India, you know, a little room, we would go, and we'd all just sit and, you know, have our 6 feet, we're good. So, Bali Maharaj is saying to Vamana, like, you know who I am, don't you? I'm the king. I can give you so much land. Why do you only want 3 steps of land? And Bali Maharaj says, and Vamana says, you know, if you can't be satisfied with 3 steps of land, you're not going to be satisfied with the whole universe. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So that Giriraj eating, not satisfied, we can reflect on that, how we eat and eat and eat, accumulate. But we just come to a nice festival like this and associate with devotees, hear katha, do kirtan, take prasadam, and we're like, yeah, what more do you need? It's like, isn't it? So everything's good. So Indra was really angry, like extremely angry, because his supreme position was being challenged. And when he was so angry, what happens when you're angry? Your intelligence is covered. You forget everything. So he was like, who does Krishna think he is? Who is this Krishna? Who does he think he is? You know, to challenge me. And so he calls for the clouds and the lightning that only he uses for the annihilation of the universe with the intention of annihilating Vrindavan. Now, technically speaking, Indra is a demigod. Demigods believe in the supreme God. And now this demigod is trying to kill God and kill God's devotees. Like, he's a bit covered. What do you think? Kind of off the deep end, as we say. Isn't that amazing? Krishna, help. Krishna's like, come. Lifts the hill, come on under. And in all the rain and thunder and lightning, it's hitting the hill. And it's like everybody's safe. And like Indra's like, I can't kill them. They're under this hill. And Indra's trying to annihilate the hill with his thunderbolts. It's not working. He was frustrated. And Krishna's, playing his flute on the left hand, like, and hanging out with the devotees for 7 days, 24/7. Nobody hungry, nobody tired. Everything is just like. Would you like to hang with Krishna under Govardhan for 7 days? What do you think? That'd be good. Might be worth trying. You know, you never know. You might like it. So it was so special, wasn't it? And you could be with Krishna 24 hours a day for 7 days, because no devotee can be with Krishna for 24 hours a day. No devotee. Because Krishna's leelas are with different devotees at different times of the day, and nobody's with Krishna the whole day. And now they're all with Krishna the whole day, everybody. And Krishna's reciprocating with everyone just by looking at them, you know, like sometimes someone looks at you and they speak with their eyes and their face, isn't it? And Krishna's speaking to everybody. Everyone is feeling fully ecstatic and satisfied. And Indra is totally flustered. And so Krishna now was able to humble Indra, satisfy his devotees, and Indra comes, you know, with his tail between his legs, as we say in English, like really embarrassed. He brings a cow. He's like, Krishna's not even going to want to talk to me. But Krishna likes cows, and so the cow can speak on my behalf, like my lawyer. He apologizes, he becomes humble. Krishna's happy that he's humble. And also, the last thing that happens is now we have this big festival, because if Krishna didn't live Govardhan Hill, what would you be doing right now? Sitting at home, maybe possible. I'll just take a guess what you might be doing right now. What are we, Monday? Tuesday? Tuesday at 7 o'clock, getting back from work. You might just be sitting at home right now, scrolling. Maybe. It's possible, right? What do you think? If not, right now at 7, maybe at 7:30 or 8, scrolling, right? Maybe, right? Scrolling, or maybe worse than scrolling, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But because Krishna lived at Govardhan Hill, we have this festival. So Krishna likes to do things that would create festivals, so that it's an opportunity for devotees to come together and glorify him. And this is it's a special lila. So we're all here because Krishna lived at Govardhan Hill, and Krishna knew if I do this, because he knows everything, it's going to be a big festival. I'll make sure it becomes a big festival. So Krishna knew that today, in the wonderful city of Cologne, there would be a Govardhan Puja celebration, and you all would be here. When he was lifting Govardhan Hill, it was like, okay, Keshav going to be here. And he's like, we're all going to be here now. So he did the festival. So that's Krishna's little trick. He got us here to worship him and get some mercy. And remember this Leela, which is like what we're supposed to be doing, is think of Krishna's Leela. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Jai Sri Radhe. Jai Sri Radhe. What's next?
Now, dear devotees, we will now open here.
Giriraj Maharaj ki
jai. So now we have the opportunity to circumambulate Govardhan, and we will put them in the middle